Hi everybody, my name is Joshua. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Hope all you guys had a good week. We're going to head over to some worship and the lesson of Elisha, but first, let's sing a song together.
There is only one who can do anything amazing. There is only one who can do anything so amazing. His name is Jesus. He is the strongest. His name is Jesus. And he is oh so good. Oh, anything he can do, anything. Yes, it's true. Anything he can do, anything. He is amazing. Anything he can do, anything. Yes, it's true. Anything he can do, anything. He is amazing. Oh, 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 oh. He is amazing and he can do anything. There is only one who loves me like he does, like he does. There is only one who loves me like he does, no matter what. His name is Jesus. He is the strongest. His name is Jesus. And he is oh so good. Oh, anything he can do, anything. Yes, it's true. Anything he can do, anything. He is amazing. Anything he can do, anything. Yes, it's true. Anything he can do, anything. He is amazing. He is the very best. No one is bigger. He is the very best. No one is stronger. He is the very best. No one is greater. He is Jesus. He is Jesus. He is the very best. No one is bigger. He is the very best. No one is stronger. He is the very best. No one is greater. He is Jesus. He is Jesus. Oh, anything he can do, anything. Yes, it's true. Anything he can do, anything. He is amazing. Anything he can do, anything. Yes, it's true. Anything he can do, anything. He is amazing. Oh, 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 oh. He is amazing and he can do anything. Oh, 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 oh. He is amazing and he can do anything.
Hi Jubilee kids, I hope you're all doing well. Today we'll be reading from 2 Kings chapter 6 from verse 24 till 2 Kings chapter 7 from verse 1 till 20. So this passage is set in the context of God's judgment on his people for their ongoing disobedience. We see in chapter 6 from verse 24 to 33 the desperation situation of the Israelites. And then we see in chapter 7 verse 1 to 2 God's promised rescue for the Israelites. Then from chapter 7 verse 3 to 15 we see a new discovery. And then we see in chapter 7 from verse 16 to 20 God's promises being fulfilled. Now let's get to the story. In this story, we see that the Armenian army had surrounded the Israelites in their capital city. No one could go in or out. Then leading to the people wanting food, but they couldn't bring in food because of the army that was surrounding the city. So food that used to be cheap all of a sudden was very expensive. Then the king got very upset because Elisha hadn't done anything to help the situation and he wanted Elisha to be killed. Elisha had promised that there would be plenty of food the next day, but one of the king's officers had mocked him. So Elisha promised that the king's officer would see the rescue but wouldn't be able to partake in it. Then we see 4 lepers sitting outside of the city gates of Samaria, and they were so hungry and so desperate that they went to our main camp, but they saw that it was deserted. Then we see God confusing the Aramean army, and all of them had left. They all rushed out, left their weapons and the clothes and food behind. Then the lepers come rushing in, eating and drinking of the food, and then go running back to Samaria, telling the Israelites what had happened. So the whole city rushed out to gather food, but the officer who didn't believe Elisha stayed behind and died, and he didn't share in God's rescue. This story highlights important truths about how God's people should wait on Jesus' return, knowing that those who reject him will be judged, and those who trust in Jesus will be saved for eternity. So God has promised that he will come again on this earth, and although it may seem impossible now, we must take him at his word. We know that in the Bible, God has already rescued his people since the beginning of time. Can you guys remember any of these rescues? Oh, I know. Remember Noah and the ark with the flood? As well as God rescuing the Israelites, parting the Red Sea with the help of Moses? And of course, there are many more rescues that God has done in the Old and New Testament. This shows that God will always keep his promises and that he will never fail. And it shows that in this story today, as we're reading 2 Kings chapter 6 from verse 24 till 2 Kings chapter 7 from verse 1 to 20, God promises to rescue, and he will always rescue us. We see that in the Bible, sometimes the rescue of God happened very quickly, and sometimes it took a very long time, but eventually God did rescue his people. In this story, we see that Elisha promised that God would save his people from starvation, but we see that the officer didn't believe that it would happen, but eventually God did save his people from starvation. So in the chapter, we see how the king of Israel got very frustrated and very angry because he couldn't help or save his people from starving. He didn't want to wait any longer, but he knew that he couldn't fix the situation. Sometimes we can feel that way too. We want to fix all the situations and problems in this world, but we know that God can only fix it, and he has promised to do so when Jesus returns. So let us trust in God's promise about how we can be rescued and wait on Jesus faithfully until he returns.
Hi guys, my name is Keisha and I'll be doing the memory verse with you today. Have you guys been practicing? Well, our memory verse comes from Psalm 121 verse 1 to 2, and it goes as follows. I lift my eyes to the mountain. Where does my help come from? My help comes from the Lord, the maker of heavens and earth. Awesome. Now let's add actions to it. I lift my eyes to the mountains. Where does my help come from? My help comes from the Lord, the maker of heaven and earth. Let's give it one more try. I lift my eyes to the mountains. Where does my help come from? My help comes from the Lord, the maker of heaven and earth. Awesome, guys.
Wow, that was amazing. What a great reminder of God and how he keeps his promises. Well, that's it for today, guys. Stay tuned and enjoy.